Hey everyone. They all ran to the back because they're scared because one of my cats jumped up on the table. So there they are. We have 15 dibbies, and we also received one surprise dibby. Well, we call them dibbies in the South, but you guys might call them chicks or baby chicks. So there they are. I don't know if you can see them. Let me see if I can get a better angle. And here is Minnie, my little baby Minnie. And she's so excited about the new babies. Trying to keep her away. All right. There they are. So precious. Okay. There they are. This is day 3, and they're about 5 days old. And look at them. They're so happy and healthy. They're eating and eating and eating and drinking and just happy little babies. Day 4. And look at them. They're getting so cute. They're getting taller. It's a little blurry. They're getting taller. They're eating a lot. They're drinking a lot. They're loving their new home. Now, hey, babies. All right, day 5.
Yep.
Can you see them? There they are. And the light went out. We put a little lettuce in there, straight from the garden. See if they'll eat some of it. Go ahead. He's putting in grit. Just throw it over here in this corner. And that helps their digestion. And they love to pick, scratch, and eat off the floor. That should be good for now. They'll find it. Well, come back over here so I can see you. Come on, babies. Oh, there they come. Oh, Louis he had a piece of clover in his mouth. Okay, we're back.
Hey.
This is Daddy. I'm Jamie, and we are Thankful Abode. This is our babies. This is what this whole video is about. It's about the very first week of having new baby chicks. At this point, they're about what, 2.5 weeks old?
Yeah.
And you can see they're fluttering around. They have more feathers. They're looking really good. Okay, so first of all, whenever you get new baby chicks, the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have everything set up. So the reason we have this little coop is because the very first flock that we got, we started them in the house in like a dog crate, and we had a heat lamp. Once they grew their feathers, we put them in this coop, and we put them on the back porch on a table until we got their big coop built. So that's why we already have this coop. It is a fabricated version. We did not build it. It's not a DIY. So, but this is where we started with our second flock. So, first thing that we had to do was clean it. Of course, it was full of spider webs because it's been in our shop forever. Second thing we did was we added a heat lamp. And what temperature do we need that heat lamp to be on?
Need to, when I first get them, they need to be at least 98 to 100.
98 to 100, okay? And what we did was, there's a tray right here. We took that tray out because they only needed the bottom at first. and we added a heat lamp inside this top section.
Put cardboard around.
And we put cardboard around this venting right here. There's some all the way around, and you might see in some of the earlier parts of the video that you'll see the cardboard around it. And the only reason we did that was just to hold in the heat. So we had cardboard here. Oh, they just pecked my pen. We had cardboard here. We had cardboard around the side and cardboard around the back. We left all this in front open. We only put the cardboard around this back side because that's where we had the heating lamp, which was in this door right here. So if you were to open up this door, there was a heating lamp right here. And if you look at my intro, you can see the heating lamp and where it's situated. So, all right, so we got the heating lamp in, and we need to make sure they had a waterer and a feeder. So I'm looking at my notes, sorry. Okay, no, first of all, well, yeah, okay, so we had the water and the feeder in there already. We did go a little overboard with our first feeding system because for some reason my husband thought he wanted me to buy a really big one, which was a 10-pounder, but you know what, that's okay because we can use it when they go out to their big coop if needed. So it is an investment. The more waterers and the more feeders you have, it's never going to go to waste, so that's fine. So we had a feeder here, and we had a water over here. I got my pen again. Get my pen. Anyway, so we had all that set up before we even got the babies in. And we did do mail order, and we did use Murray McMurray, the hatchery. Last time we got them through Tractor Supply, and that's fine. You can get them through Tractor Supply if you want to, but we ordered 10, and we did lose 2 babies. So this time we got them through straight from the hatchery, and it made a world of a difference because first of all, we had the option to vaccinate. Okay, vaccinations are very controversial. We didn't do that with our first flock, and we had many, many problems. So this time, Daddy chose to click that vaccination button, and we're glad we did. Even though we're trying to keep everything organic, we haven't lost any babies, and it's been almost 3 weeks, and we haven't lost any babies. So we're very, very, very happy with this hatchery. If I know how, I'll link it below, but if I don't, sorry guys. Murray McMurray hatchery. You can Google it. Yeah. Okay, so we had everything set up, and we got a phone call from the post office, and we were so excited we went right away.
Get that box out.
They came in this box, okay? So 16 baby chicks were all piled in this box. There was a little bit of hay in the bottom, if you can see, and they were just, I did a little peek before we took them away from the post office, and they looked very healthy to me. So the first thing that we did after we brought them in this box, was slowly, Daddy held it for me like this, and we opened it up, and I grabbed one at a time. And the very first little chick that we pulled out, which we call them dibbies here in the South, so if I say chick sometime or dibby the other, that's why. So I got out the little mystery chicken. He was a little brown chicken, and we named him Louie, even though he might be a girl. If so, we'll call him Lulu or something. But anyway, I took his little beak, and I kind of just barely put it in the water. You don't want it to get up their nostrils. You don't want him to drown. But I barely put his little beak in the nostril, and he started drinking right away.
Yeah,
doing his little drinking.
Back up. You didn't tell him about putting little rocks in there.
Oh, yes, okay. So I need to back up a second. Before we introduced them to the water, the way we set up our water is I did take some tiny little rocks from our gravel driveway, and I washed them, and I put them in the waterer because you don't want them to drown because they're so little, they can fall forward and their heads will go into the little water and they could drown. So that was one thing we were trying to prevent, was drowning. So yes, I did have the little rocks already in there, so it was all set up. So I took the little Louie out, and I stuck his little beak in, barely, and he started drinking. And you know, I didn't have to do it to any of the other ones. Do you know why? Because they follow lead. That's what they do. So all the rest of them that I put in one at a time, well, then I started putting two at a time because we had so many, they followed Louie's lead. So it was amazing. And they all just went over to the feeder and they were following suit there. They all follow each other. Okay, so we did put wood chips in our baby coop here. And the reason we did that, there's some controversy on that too, because people think they will eat the little chips, but we got the very fine wood chips, pine chips, and we just barely put a little bit on the bottom. But right off the bat, they were scratching. They were acting like little chickens because they had a little bit of the wood chips in the bottom of their coop. A lot of people use paper towels. A lot of people will use newspaper shavings, but this is how we did it for our first flock, and it worked out, so we did it for the second flock. So, okay, so the next thing we did...
But when you go to handling baby chicks, you need to wash your hands before you handle them, and wash them after you get through handling them.
Yes, it's very important.
Because you might get salmonella poison if you don't.
Yes, you can get salmonella from the baby chicks. So wash your hands before, wash your hands after. You know, just still use safety precautions anytime you handle any type of animal, especially the same thing with little baby kittens. You always want to, use precautions with any type of baby that's just been born, animal or human. So very important, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the feed that we started them on is a medicated starter feed. It's very important because they need different nutrients than they'll need once they start laying. Once they start laying, they'll go on laying mash. Laying mash?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always say that wrong. Okay, I forgot to tell you what kind of chickens we got. We got pearl white leghorns.
Yeah.
For forever I wanted to call them longhorns, but they're not longhorns. Longhorns are cows. So we got 15 white pearl leghorns and then the one little mystery guy. I kind of thought he might be an Easter egger, but I don't know. I think I'm wrong. But we'll find out. After he becomes an adult, I'll do some Google lensing or something to try and figure that out. But, okay, so we put them on the starter feed, with the medicated starter feed, and we also introduced some grit. I think it was around day 2 or 3, we introduced some grit. And what the grit does is it helps them to break it. It helps their digestion. It helps them to break it down in their gizzard. And basically all it is little tiny fine rocks, and it helps break down the food because
chickens don't have stomachs.
Right, they don't have stomachs. They have gizzards, so they have everything here, and they're breaking it down, and then if you see any poop sticking to their honey, or if you see any diarrhea, they need grit. So you might as well just do it right off the bat. Okay, so their feathers are starting to come in now. Like I said, the main topic of this video is the first week of a chick's life, and we were trying to explain what we did. Now, everybody does it different. So you can take from us, you can take from other YouTubers, other farmers, and just, make it your own. But once they grow their feathers, we have a larger coop that we use from our other flock, and we're doing some renovations. So once all the renovations are done, I'm going to do a video on that. And we can show the transition from the little coop to the big coop. I'm going to, we ordered another run so they'd have more room. We do not let our chickens free range. And the reason we don't is because we live out in a rural area, out in the country, but this road that's in front of our house is becoming more and more busy over the years. And it's very frustrating because we have neighbors that let their chickens free range and they get hit by cars. Another reason is because there's feral cats around. We have dogs. We also have 3 cats of our own, and we don't want them killed. There's so many other predators besides our animals and our neighbors' animals. There's coyotes. There's hawks. Hawks are a big deal. There's possums, raccoons. What else?
Skunks.
Skunks, snakes. Snakes love chicken eggs. You know, you name it. We're out in the country, we have it. It's out here somewhere. So, that's the big issue, is keeping everything predator proof. But we did order a new run, and I'm going to build a tunnel to that run from our existing coop that we already built as a DIY project. And we're doing little renovations on it, like I said. So, we're building a tunnel to the new coop, and then I might even build tunnels out into the yard. We're not sure yet. But I think that's it. You have anything else to add?
No, that's about it.
He grew up with chickens. I didn't. So he knows all the stuff.
Well, I don't know it all, but I do know how to grow them, get them grown.
Yeah. So, that's it for this video. And thank you for watching. And if you can, subscribe and hit the like button. That would help us out a lot, because we're just getting started. This is our very first video. So, thank you so much, and we'll be back with another video soon.